you're waiting to get paid. Also, that's another thing I think a lot of people don't understand. When a song comes out, you're getting paid your advance. Like, you don't just get paid the next day. Like in most cases, you're gonna be waiting. Okay, hold up.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. It's working.
Okay.
Finally.
All right.
Yo, how's it going, man? What are you up to?
Good. I'm just chilling, bro. Been doing all types of stuff. Just trying to get some songs. Shit, you know.
Yeah. We called a couple times, but connection didn't work. But you were talking about where I'm from. Yeah, I'm from Vancouver, but you said you had the North connection. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Michigan. I'm from Portage, which is like, you know what Kalamazoo is? People have heard of that.
Maybe in like a movie or something. I don't know, but oh, you're from Michigan. I thought you were actually from Toronto.
Nah. But actually, I work with a ton of Toronto artists. Like, all my boys from Canada joke that the reason I'm like popping with all the Toronto artists is because I'm from Diet Canada. So,
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I thought that's why I thought you were from Canada too. But it's so crazy because I was actually with a Toronto artist. His name is A4, and he's like part of the Secret Song Club, like Killy's club, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was the one who actually told me. Like, I asked him, who do you think I should interview out of Toronto, or just like producers in general, and he was saying there's this producer named KBeaZy, and he's just like coming up. So
shout out Secret Sound Club. That's my guys.
Yeah, so then he told me to interview you, and I checked out your page and stuff, and then found out that you're actually a YouTuber. You know, you make beats, you make tutorials and stuff. But then it was your age that I was like, all right, yeah, I got to interview this guy. Because how old are you, man?
I just turned 18 in April, so.
Sick, dude. You're actually just a year younger than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Young live out here.
Yeah, dude, all kids, right? But so you're from Michigan, right? Tell me a bit about like growing up in Michigan, because I think you're the only one I know from Michigan. I don't know anybody else from there. Yeah.
Sheesh. Well, at least where I'm from, there's like pretty much no music scene. And I don't know. I think Michigan's, because like I'm from like an actual like city. Like it's not a huge city. I think Portage has like a population of like 50,000 or something, and then Kalamazoo is like maybe a couple 100,000. But I don't know, if you drive like 15 minutes in like a different direction, it's just like straight cornfields. Like you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's interesting, but also it's sort of hard to like get started in music. I think because like it's not like there's studios here. It's not like there's artists. It was like just me on the internet, like doing my thing. You know.
Well, so you're 18. So I'm gonna guess did you just finish high school?
Yeah, I graduated like 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh, congrats, man! Congrats on that. That's sick.
Hey,
how was high school for you?
It was fire. I don't know. I'm like, so like my family's like pretty like academic oriented, I'd say. Like both my parents went to Notre Dame, if you know what that is. Yeah. My older brother is going to Notre Dame right now. So like the plan was always for me to like, you know, follow in the footsteps, go to Notre Dame, all that. So like originally when I started high school, I like used to try like super hard in school, you know what I mean? But then like I don't know, I just started losing focus, and once like I really started getting into beats, which was like sophomore year, no, end of freshman year was when I like really started making beats and stuff. And then I don't know, I think the interesting thing about high school, and I've like talked to a lot of other creatives about this, is like when you first start, you just get roasted. Like, you know what I mean? Like kids
when you first start something creative in high school?
Yeah,
dude,
like,
tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Actor, or blog, whatever it could be. It's like people are just naturally gonna like make fun of you because that's just like the high school thing to do, you know? Yeah. But like my last year of high school was like lit. I'm not gonna lie, because like at that point I was already lit, and I was like missing school to go to LA and New York, and I don't know. I think coming up in high school like is just like an interesting thing, because you can like, I don't know, it's like an interesting perspective, you know?
No, I feel you. When I was in high school, I was in like grade 10 or 11, and basically like I started this podcast, right, called like, my name's Arshan, by the way, right? So it was called Convos with Arshan, and I would just like interview like these random people in my neighborhood and stuff. But you're right, you know, like everyone was like, what the heck is this? Like, you know, they didn't see it at all. And then once in like grade 12, I interviewed like Smokey Margella from the ASAP Mob, and then they're like, and then people are like, oh yeah, yo, I love what you're doing, man. It's like, oh yeah, of course you did.
That's actually funny. I was talking to my friends like 30 minutes ago. I was at Chick-fil-A, and one of my best friends like told me he remembers last year when I got my song with Chief Keef that I co-produced. He was just like telling me tonight. He was like, I remember when that song dropped, like all of a sudden everybody switched up, and like the whole grade, the whole school was like, oh my god, like, bro, that's crazy. And like a week before, they were, you know, like making fun of me and stuff. So
yeah, I know it's totally weird, but I understand because like, you know, young people just like they're young, you know, like you can't blame them for that. But tell us like what are some of the people that you've worked with that you're like super proud of?
I don't know. It's a big list, especially recently. Like, obviously, like TM88 was like one of my favorite producers ever. Like when I first started, like freshman year, like I used to like listen to TM88 and like Southside, all that. So obviously working with TM like was really cool. And then also KBeaZy, obviously, because like I just said, like back before I even was like music was on my radar or anything, I like doing music at least. I like love Logic and KBeaZy, and like low key, actually, I didn't tell him this, but like when I named myself KBeaZy, like low key, it was because of KBeaZy, like in a way. So obviously,
it kind of sounds similar, yeah, in a way.
Exactly, with the Eazy. So like because that my name KBeaZy is like actually an Xbox gamer tag. Like
okay.
Yeah. So then when I was like, you know, getting all into that, I was like, what sounds cool? KBeaZy. So then
that sounds cool.
Working with KBeaZy is like was crazy. So you know that's probably my number one, I'd say, so far.
What was your perception of like a popular YouTuber before you actually started like becoming one?
I don't know. I think it's interesting being a YouTuber that's like a beat YouTuber, I'd say, because it's not like obviously if you're like a vlogger like a Jake Paul or something, I think it's like a completely different thing, because then it's like you're getting millions and millions of views and stuff, and you're like getting, you know, then the ad revenues, like you make it, like everybody thinks like YouTubers just make hella money.
Dude,
like,
they don't. I know they don't. Don't worry.
Like people don't know that half of it. Like it's like people are like, oh, you make $10,000 off ads every video or something. I was like, I wish, but like
maybe Jake Paul went on it.
Yeah, maybe Jake Paul does, but like I think it's interesting because a lot of like YouTubers, at least, they're like tutorial makers, like make their income by like making a video and then they sell like sound kits. To producers. So I don't know. I think that gave me like an interesting perspective into YouTube in general, because it's like I'm a YouTuber, but like maybe not in the typical sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's like what is your production style?
I don't know. I would describe it as being like pretty bare bones. Like I don't really add too many sounds a lot of times. Like once I get it to the point where I feel like an artist could like get on it, I think I usually just stop there, because I think what a lot of people don't realize is like, especially in like modern day rap music, is like the voice of the artist is like an instrument. Like the heavily auto-tuned vocals is like, that's literally an instrument in itself. So I think a lot of people, like especially when you're starting out, like try to add way too much stuff and like, you know, go way over the top, which can be cool sometimes depending on like the scenario. But I don't know. I just describe my sound as like melodic and pretty like bare bones, I guess you could say.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. How do you like? How do you differentiate yourself from being another, you know, like beat YouTuber? Because there's so many of them, and I just feel like, in my opinion, I feel like the reason that people like actually stick to your videos and like comment on them and stuff is because of you actually add like a personality to it, right? You're like this like white kid, you know, skinny white kid that makes beats, but then you also have that, you know, you have that screen where you're just like talking to people, you know, actually like making jokes and stuff like that. So how do you think you differentiate yourself from other YouTubers?
I'm just like myself in my videos, and like a lot of the times I'm aware I'm like being cringy and shit, but like low key, my advice to anyone getting started on YouTube is to just like literally just be you, and like people are gonna gravitate to it. Because like I think a lot of people like don't realize, like when you're watching somebody you know on YouTube, like obviously you're gonna be like, oh, that's corny, or like, oh, that's cringy, because like you know them. But like if it's somebody you don't know in real life, it's like a completely different thing. Like so I would say just like being myself and like being funny in the videos, and also the fact that I'm like doing YouTube and also working with artists and like getting started in the industry, I think that sort of attracts people to my channel.
That's why like Cash Money AP, like, you know, he does a lot of tight beats, but at the end of the day, like, holy, like Tory Lanez is using his beats, you know, like actual artists are using his beats, and like it's like you're trying to do the same thing. So
exactly.
I definitely think that's like one of your differentiators as well. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I feel like, you know, when you think of a producer, right, like a hip hop producer, predominantly you think of, you know, there's a lot of like black people who are in hip hop, And then when I look at you, it's like, yo, I did not expect this guy to be a hip hop producer. He's like this skinny white kid from Michigan, like just gonna be real, you know, like I did not expect that. So how do you feel like, the fact that you're just like so out of the norm, you're not what people would expect to be a hip hop producer?
That's funny. I actually get that a lot. Like a lot of the times when I meet somebody in the industry and like they hear my beats, they're like, holy shit, like I did not expect that out of you. But I don't know, like Killy's manager was telling me, actually like a few weeks ago, like I had this discussion with Andy, who's Killy's manager. He was telling me something that like really resonated with me. Like he said, like no matter what, like no matter where your background is, no matter where you're from, whatever, where you grew up, like music is like almost like a religion in a way. Like you know what I mean? Like not really, but like in a way, like it just attracts a ton of people like from all different walks of life. And I think I don't know. That's like one of my favorite things about music is just that like I get to meet so many people that come from like completely different backgrounds from me. But it's like we all have like a common goal in mind. So I don't know. That's like my favorite thing about music, probably.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that like your appearance and stuff, I feel like that's like your branding in a sense. Like when you like you said, you work with artists, right? They're gonna remember you because they're gonna be like, yo, man. I got this fire ass beat, but it was made by that skinny white kid, KBeaZy. Like, exactly. Like they're gonna actually remember you for that. So I feel like it's a good thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Like with the glasses and everything too, it's like it's an iconic look,
Exactly. So, instead of just making YouTube beats, you mentioned that you work with 88 Glam. How did you end up linking with 88 Glam? Because they're like one of my favorite groups right now.
Yeah. Okay, so that's actually like a funny story. So I was in LA the first time I ever went to LA. Like I convinced my parents to let me travel somewhere for music. I didn't even have like any plans. I just went out to LA with my friend who also was a producer, and for like a week we got a house in the Hollywood Hills. And we rented it, and like that was like a year ago. So, but like I had like never done really anything in the industry. Like obviously I got the Chief Keef song, but I was like through a collab. So like I didn't really know how anything worked yet. So then. Like, I remember we saw 88 Glam, but, like, I only knew a few songs of them. Like, we saw them in L.A., like, eating at a restaurant, and, like, my homie was like, we should go up to them. But I was like, nah. Like, I don't want to,
Yeah.
So then, like, after that, I started really getting into their music. So, like, after that, I started, like, loving the music. I was like, shit, I should have went up to them.
So you didn't go up to them?
No, I did not.
Oh, man. Were they alone? Was it just Derek and Camino, or, like...
It was Derek, and I think it was Alex, who's, like, their producer. I don't really remember. I'm pretty sure it was Alex on weed and Derek, and they were just like eating at a restaurant in Beverly Hills or something. And like I don't know, we didn't go up to them. So then fast forward a few months later, like November, and at that point I had already been linked up with my management. So like Pete, Steven, Charlie Walk, etc. And they like sort of have like been showing me like this whole like ever since I met them, like they've been literally like turning me from a YouTube kid to like a legitimate like industry producer, I'd say. So one of their homies, David, actually knew 88 Glam. So 88 Glam like came to New York and was like staying with them. And then I just booked a flight, and then I went to New York for the first time. I met 88 Glam. We recorded some songs, and then that was that. So yeah. And then now they're my friends. So like I don't know. That was dope. It's crazy how things work like that.
It's very crazy. Yeah. So how was like the first time you like met them? Like what were like you guys' conversations like?
I'm trying to remember. I think the first time I met them, I was at Steven's apartment probably. Or no, maybe Thomas Henry. I don't know. Anyway, I was at like one of my homies' apartments. They walked in. They had like hella girls with them. And then like actually on my Instagram, you can see a video where it's like me and like a ton of girls, and like GB, like Derek says like, "Yo, where's KBeaZy? I need some beats." And then like he walks in. And it's like a video of me on a bed. It's like 5 girls or something. That was like within like 10 minutes of meeting them. So like I don't know. Instantly off the bat, like it was just a vibe. Like we were just making like funny Instagram videos. Like I don't know. It was just like easy vibes from the start. So
I feel you. So are you working on 88 Glam 3 with them at all or no?
Yeah. Coming soon. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Sick. Nah, I feel you. So, moving on from 88 Glam, right? Like, you made a video about, you make, like, a lot of, like, cool videos. Like, there's not just, like, how to make this beat and whatnot. Like, you made one where it was, like, how to make 100K in a year off making beats. Am I right? Yeah, so, like, for any young producers right now that are watching this, can you explain to them, like, how can they make money off, making beats? Especially on YouTube.
Yeah. I would say with the internet, there's like a lot of different ways to make money as a producer now. So like obviously, if you start, uploading tutorials on YouTube and you like build a fan base, you're obviously gonna start getting paid with ad money off YouTube once you get to a certain point. And then, but that's like not going to be a primary source of income. That's just going to be like, however much it is per month, like for your channel. But then sound kits are like a really slept on way to make money. So like, obviously once you get build up a fan base, they're going to want the sounds that you use. So if you start making like drum kits and loop kits of like melodies you make, obviously that's going to, like help give a product and like help you like turn your fan base into like actual like monetary like gains, I guess you could say. And then obviously once you get into the industry as well, it's like you're gonna be getting paid for your producer advances and off royalties and off the publishing and all that. So I think there's a lot of different ways to make money as a producer. It's key to like tap into all of them so that you have a steady source of income.
So sound kits probably make you the most amount of money, but YouTube is like actually more. I'm just gonna guess. I think making YouTube videos is more fun, right? So how does that work with you? Like, are you like, what, sound kits are making me more money, so I should be making those instead of, constantly making YouTube videos? Like, what's more important to you?
I mean, it's all a balance. Like, to me, I'd say, well, because like obviously, if you're not making the videos, you can't sell the sound kits because like the tutorials are what is like, like getting you your customers, I guess.
True.
But I mean, I don't know. You just gotta find a balance that's good for you. Like, I'm still finding it even because like obviously I'm moving to LA in like 2 weeks, so obviously that's gonna be like a big change for me because that's my first time living alone, and that's also my first time where it's like I don't have to worry about school or like literally all I'm gonna be doing is like just going hard on music. So I think that's also gonna change like how much time I'm spending on what, and like I don't know. So I think you just gotta find what works for you and what works for your viewers, and then just go off that.
Okay, cool. So in the beginning, I was all for like, if you guys want to be if someone wants to be a musician, like go all out, just like risk everything. But now, like thinking about it, it's like, you know what, that's good and all to believe in yourself, but there's like some harsh realities that you got to face. You know what I'm saying? So definitely. Like, what were some like harsh realities that you just like realized after becoming a producer?
I don't know. I mean, I love being a producer, so it's like, but I do think that sometimes, especially now with the internet and like, especially since a lot of kids get into it, like it gets hyped up to be something it's not sometimes. Like obviously, like for me so far, things have gone pretty smoothly, but like at the same time, like also it's not like, in most cases, you're not just going to have like steady, like, oh, I'm getting a hit every month. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's going to be periods of time where it's like you're waiting for music to drop or you're waiting to get paid. Also, that's another thing I think a lot of people don't understand. When a song comes out and you're getting paid your advance, like you don't just get paid the next day. Like in most cases, you're going to be waiting months till you actually get, you know what I mean, the paperwork done and all that. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just you got to like know that it's not always going to be like, it's not always fun and games. Like sometimes you got to wait for things to drop, and it's like everything's not just going to go well at all times.
Yeah, totally. I actually had another question to ask. I think we can relate in this sense, but I get a lot of DMs because like our media outlet has an Instagram page, right? So I get a lot of DM from like artists and stuff who are like very like, obviously like not popular, and then they'll be like, and like producers too, they'll be like, yo man, I saw that you did an interview with like ASAP for 12 or whatever. Can you give my beat to this person? But then it's like, yo, like, bro, I've never spoken to you ever, and like, if we did, like, we're not even like friends, right? So, it like to me, it like gets kind of annoying, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, you can't do that, right? So, like, what's your take on that? You might get that often, right?
Yeah, I think especially with a lot of young kids, like when you start off, I think a lot of them are like just so eager, they don't understand the actual like reality of things. Because I know I was the same way, but also I think that's a good indicator. Like the kids who are eager, like a lot of times end up being the ones that like once they mellow out a little bit, like end up like actually doing stuff, I think. But I think there's a fine line, especially with like how easy it is to contact people nowadays. Like you just text them or DM them. Like it's so easy to just send that message. Like there's a fine line between hitting people like too much and just being like, yo, I gotta send you beats, Can you get these beats to somebody? Because at that point you just become like the annoying kid that's like, like, you know what I mean? Like it happens to me. Like kids like text me every day, and like I don't mind it because I understand, and like I used to be that kid. So I don't know, but I think especially for young producers, you gotta like find the medium between hitting them up too much and hitting them up like just enough to the point where it's like not annoying anymore, you know?
Totally. Here's like my take on it is that I used to be that kid too. You know, I used to DM like everyone. Like if I wanted to work with an interview an artist, I'd like find his friend on Instagram and I'd DM his friend and be like, and I had like 100 followers and I was like, yo, dude, like you gotta let me interview ASAP Rocky, right? And it's like thinking like that it would work, right? So I get it, right? But yo, we gotta talk about. I searched your name up, right? And there was this like video that came up about like J.W. Lucas. Who is that?
Oh God. Okay, so
I need to know. I'm so curious, man.
Did you see the one where he was like talking about me and like TM88 or something?
Yeah, like his face wasn't in it, but I just saw some dude ranting behind the phone, right?
I don't even know. Okay, so pretty much you know XO2 Life by Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah, it was produced by TM88.
TM88 and JW Lucas. JW Lucas co-produced like the melody and like I don't know, it was the whole thing. Anyway, here's my take on that, and like it's all love. Like I don't like anything, and like literally like it's just funny to me because like I'm like so chill.
Yeah.
But
So what happened though? Yeah, what happened?
Literally nothing really even happened. Like I to this day I'm still like mystified. Like back in the day I used to like talk to him, and I remember he would always like my take on it was I had like a following on YouTube. He didn't really have a following or anything. And like he sort of just like used that to sort of like get kids like hyped up on his live, I guess, and like to sort of follow him. Which like I understand, like more power to him. Like I'm not mad, like do you, but like I don't know. It just got a little out of hand. Like
I saw that TM88 actually had your back on it, right?
Well, yeah, that's actually how I met TM88.
No, stop, no way.
So Ken Carson is like is a rapper from Atlanta, and he's tight with TM88. I think they're actually cousins. I'm pretty sure. So he had like been showing me the TM just because like I was like this young kid sending him all these fire beats, and then that JW Lucas thing happened, and I just like remember like TM like responded to my DM that day.
Really?
Like, because he posted it on his story, and I replied to it with like laughing emojis, and I was like, I don't know why he's mad or something. So like I don't even know what's going on. And then I remember he like replied back to me, and he like accepted my DM request and all that. And then I remember like a couple days later, he tweeted out like at KBeaZy the God fire emoji. And like had been like showing him my beats and stuff, and then so yeah, honestly it was a good thing, even though like to this day I'm still like mystified about that whole situation, but like it worked out. So
that JW Lucas guy probably feels so bad after TM88 replied to you. He's like, no, he's like, that's not what I wanted to happen.
I mean, honestly, you asking me about this is probably gonna spark controversy.
Oh my god, okay, all right, we'll end it there. But so
it's all good. It's all love. You gotta understand also, this for like a lot of kids watching, there's a lot of weird ass people you're gonna meet if you like want to really do this. So like you just gotta differentiate between the people that are like genuinely like looking out for you and people that are just like weird ass like characters, I guess, at the end of the day. You know?
That's a good piece of advice. Who's the weirdest? Okay, not who, because you don't want to say it, but what's the weirdest person you've met
in the music industry? I would say the weirdest person, or like the weirdest encounter
there you go.
Weirdest encounter I've ever had, or like weirdest scenario was like one of the first times. Like it was in LA. I was in LA. I was meeting with somebody who wanted to manage me, and it was just a weird vibe. Like, and that was when I really realized that like not everybody out here is like really looking out for you. Because like I don't know, sometimes you can just tell from conversations that people are like literally only looking at you as like a dollar sign, like not actually as like a. Like, they just see the potential to make money one day, maybe, I get. And I just remember it was, like, a very uncomfortable conversation. And, like, I remember, like, one line. The weirdest line I've ever heard is, like, somebody wanted me to sign paperwork the same day.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't want me to leave and have a lawyer look at it or anything because... And I was like, well, obviously I got to talk about it with my parents. They were like, the weirdest line ever. Somebody told me, like, your parents might not want you to get the bag or something. And that was like the weirdest thing. That's when I noticed, like, okay, this is like weird shit happens, you know?
Yeah. After hearing that, you probably was like, yeah, see ya.
I was like, my parents don't want me to get the bag. Like, my parents want me to get be successful and like. You know?
that's definitely weird. But so our media outlet is called Kids Take Over, right? I want to know what was your favorite part about being a kid? Because I mean, you still are a kid, right?
Favorite part about being a kid. I think especially as like I've started to like now I'm actually moving out, paying rent, paying taxes, etc. I think the best thing about being a kid is you can spend all the time you want on whatever it is that you're like passionate about.
Oh yeah.
Like obviously outside of school, but like in the summer after school, pretty much like, and you don't have to like worry about other responsibilities really. Like obviously school, but besides school, it's like you can pretty much once you're out of school, once you're done with your homework, you can do whatever you want, and you don't have to worry about anything else, and you can put your all into something. And I think that's the best part about being a kid. And I think a lot of kids waste that too, because like obviously when you're like a young kid, you gotta have fun. You
want to like go to parties and like do all that stuff. Yeah, I get that.
Exactly. Like the first 2 years of my high school, and like even the first 3 years, really. Like obviously this year, since I'm already like have steady income and like I'm already like established a little bit somewhat, I started to like actually do like fun activities. But like the first 3 years of high school, like I didn't go to any football games, I didn't go to any parties. Like you know what I mean? I was really minded. So
that could be a good and a bad thing.
Exactly. I think if more kids like apply themselves to something like that, like I think, you know, a lot of kids would like do crazy things at a young age, you know?
Yeah, totally. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's like all the questions we had. It was really nice talking to you, man. And what's your Instagram? I'm just gonna follow you.
At KBeaZy. I'm hit you with that refollow, of course.
And I really appreciate you. It's dope because I know a lot of young kids are gonna watch this and, you know, like get some good advice off of it. So I appreciate you, and yeah, let's talk soon, man.
Yeah, thank you. It was lit. Have a good one.
See ya. Yo guys, thank you for watching that video. It's so funny because a lot of my friends who are producers are just now hitting me like, yo dude, I can't believe you interviewed KBeaZy. You know, I used to watch all his tutorials and he's the one who made me want to make beats. So I thought that was a really cool moment, but it is time for the top comment of the week. So on the last video, Pablo Online commented, you and this channel are going to be big one day. I can just feel it. Bro, I actually really appreciate your comment because things like that keep me motivated, and I'll never take it for granted. But yo, you guys should watch the last video we did. I pretty much explained how much money I made off 100,000 views on YouTube. It's a really interesting video, and I'm also subscribed to Kids Takeover.